Adam and Wack, and we back.
Back by popular demand.
Ready to grab some crab.
Man, hey, listen, brother.
I'm all filled up with crab right now. We just had a good old feast.
I stopped through Blueface's restaurant in Santa Clarita. King of Crabs walked in, and man, I had a feast, and I was sitting there eating. I said, you know what? I gotta call my brother. And I said, what you want? You said, just bring me the whatever.
Yeah.
And I brought you down two big old pans, and the homies was giving you instructions on how to eat.
I never had my hands get that covered in stuff eating in this office before in my life.
I listen, I was a little worried because I was like, man, how was the food? Because his mother ran it previously. Now it's a whole new team in there. And I will tell you this, because I'm very picky. My one spot, boiling crab. It gets you used to a certain taste. And I've been to like a bunch of spots and I didn't like it, but yo, I'm going back.
Next time in Santa Clarita, I'm going back.
I'm going back. I brought you everything. Mussels, crawfish, lobster.
Definitely.
Everything. You brought up shrimp, I brought you everything.
I can feel the protein coursing through my veins as we speak.
Potatoes, corn. Oof. Yo, and guess what? No, I didn't go in there and say, I'm Wack, give me my food for free. I'm taking this to No Jumper. They're going to put it on the page. I pay for everything. So if I could pay family, friends, homies, y'all going in there and support, man. Free Blueface.
We should insert the video from your Instagram feed where we were feasting upon it, because I want people to be able to see how glorious this was. How much were those two foil things of was it $40, 50?
Hell, let me see.
Seemed like a lot.
It was crazy when I saw my total.
Look how old school he is. He got the receipt in his back pocket.
My total was crazy. My total was 187.
Whoa.
I promise you.
For just me and you. Just me and you. That's for two people's worth of food?
Well, I brought you the works.
Okay.
Because you had crawfish a pound. You had king crab legs a pound. You had black mussels a pound.
Love
shrimp
black mussels.
a pound. Then you had corn and all the stuff. I think your thing alone was probably about 80, 90, $100.
Jesus Christ.
But it was 187.41.
Wow. That way.
Shout out Blueface.
Shout out Blueface.
I could have went in there. They like, Wack, what's up? I could have sat at the table and act like I was fucking Don Corleone. No. I'm supporting my artists I get paid to.
That's a fact. I also want to thank you because over the weekend, I went into the Lion's Den and attended a podcast on the other side. And, Wack 100 issued a couple of highly trained goons to roll through with me.
Yo, because I know you.
Yeah.
You probably walked in first.
Yeah, I was the first one. They were right there flanking me.
I take it that wherever you were at, people weren't expecting you to be.
I mean, they had a stream announcement for the Apollo with MacWap and the rest of them. It had been posted online for like 4 hours by the time I went on. So they couldn't have been that surprised, but I think that they weren't 100% expecting me to actually show up. But when I say I'm showing up, I'm showing up.
He definitely showed up. Shout out Baby Q and Rob. Third went with him. We had, Lil John and the rest of the team outside on the perimeter. We moved different. We couldn't make it look too crazy, but we had to be prepared if it got crazy.
What's funny is that when we're walking in, because it's downtown and there's all kinds of weird hipster type people downtown, and as we're walking in, it's a whole crowd of like weird hipster kids or whatever, and I'm walking in with your dudes, and as we get to the elevator, they're like, yo, all those dudes knew who you were. They're like, they seemed a little surprised, like, oh, all these fucking fruitcake nerd type people, they all know who you are. Okay. They know about Adam too. All right.
My man pulled you up. Like, I don't know, is it Google where they can track how many times your name is searched or whatever, a tag?
Okay.
It was crazy.
Really?
Oh, my head was big. My shit was like 13, 14 million.
Mm.
Cause I saw Ack was down like 4 million. They ain't really putting Ack up because they know who Ack is, right? But your shit is crazy.
Right. Wow.
Like way a crazy number.
Okay.
So yeah.
The porn stuff. I think that helps a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Because the porn stuff, like whenever I get my Google email every day that like tells me what's going on and who's talking about me or whatever, it's always a lot of like spammy, weird porn links.
Yo, bro, your shit is crazy. Like, I don't think we don't pay any attention because people tell me all the time, man, Wack, I don't think you realize, and I be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we don't
think of each other that way.
Nah, we don't be like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? We see somebody, we have a conversation. Shit, I just went to the gas station and, you know, the old lady was there. I pumped her gas and shit. People looking up, waving. It's cool. Like, what's the problem? But, yeah, you got a crazy following, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You know, Ack.
What's going on with that?
Me last night.
Oh, how's he doing? Is he still reeling from his cancellation, or does he not give a shit?
Well, no, he told me that he thanked me because I was texting him for like 5 days and he wasn't answering.
Oh.
But I kept texting him.
Okay.
Right? Because I took that as if he was in a dark place.
I've never seen Ack.
He said he wanted to kill himself.
Shut the hell up.
I swear he said it.
He said that?
Bro, he broke down.
What?
He said he's never been hit like he really got emotional. He said the shit people were saying about him, he wasn't understanding because in his head, he's, you know, I had to have a conversation with him about trolling and what trolling you can't do and how he needs to put certain walls up around him when it comes to, you know, having children around.
I just feel like Ack has been through so many sort of cancellation style scenarios. Oh, no, it's hard for me to imagine him really caring that much.
He said he was ready to quit media and he was contemplating. And he said he said Charlemagne and myself, he said Charlemagne kept calling me, ended up talking to Charlemagne. He said, but Wack, I knew you fuck with me, but this let me know you a real brother.
Okay.
Because I kept on texting him. I kept texting them. Okay. You know, I'm letting them know. Because sometimes, bro, people don't want to get on the line and they have these thoughts and it needs just a little light. A little light at the tunnel, like somebody cheering for you. And we had a conversation and I gave it to him raw and uncut, how I felt about it, where I felt he went wrong. But he did say, Wack, I saw you and Adam, and I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? He said because a lot of people he thought was his friends didn't say nothing at all.
See, that is the one thing that I could say that I could imagine it being stressful for him is just the fact that it's one thing when you have the people who don't f with you talking shit about you, because it's like, who cares? I'm already expecting that. When you start having people who normally would f with you and they're either dissing you or, like you said, just not even saying anything, that shit is not the best feeling.
No, it's not. Especially a lot of people you didn't help out.
Yeah.
Along the way, you know what I mean? So I told him, I said, bro, believe it or not, I said, I think Adam would agree. Your platform and No Jumper are the only two platforms that throughout the week people look forward to seeing because every week we're giving them something to see. A lot of these other places, bro, they'll go dark on you for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks sometimes. You don't even...
I can't do it. I got to drop every day.
Yeah, when the last time we seen someone on Drink Champs?
It has been maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Joe does his thing, but even with them...
Joe drops a lot.
Yeah.
Joe does many podcasts a week. Yeah, but
Joe
most of them go on Patreon.
So, yeah, but a lot, so I let him know he appreciated, he's needed. You know, and he said last night we was on there, it was like 20, 30,000 people. On whatever the hell we were on, I don't know.
Okay.
He just calls me and I guess we're live. I don't know.
That you saying that you hit him up that many times makes me wish that I had hit him up more times because I didn't bother to double back. I hit him up about it when it first started happening, but I wouldn't have expected that he would have ended up in the sunken place like you're describing.
I knew he was real because when he was talking about it, he started to get emotional.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't BSing. So,
Mm.
you know, and I'm glad. I said, you know what? The sun don't shine in the same dog's ass every day. My grandfather used to give me that saying. I didn't know what the hell he was talking
The
about.
sun don't shine on the
The
same
sun
dog's
doesn't
ass.
shine in the same dog's ass every day. Meaning it's gonna come a day where your ass gonna be in darkness.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think a lot of people, Drake's going through this, who has a lot of sun on them, a lot of light on them. They forget what it feels like to be in a dark place.
Which is funny with Drake because for so many years he would always have lyrics on songs where he's talking about himself like he's the like he doesn't really get love from people, like the industry doesn't really f with him. And I would always hear that and be like, listen, as somebody who the industry really doesn't f with, who really feels like a renegade in this shit, be serious. You are one of the most beloved songwriters of our generation, probably the most successful rapper of my lifetime. So it's kind of hard for me to think that. But now all that seems quite a bit more justified when you see the Grammy celebration for Kendrick, and you know, you got Taylor Swift shaking her little miniature ass for
Lucian Grang and Dr. Dre high five. You know what that was, right? Let's do the math.
That's solidarity.
He goes at him with the accusations. You guys are doing this. You guys are showing favoritism. You guys are promoting slanderous music. Drake puts a song up that he didn't submit to go up. Usually they'll just chase it, tie a DSP to it, and, you know, market it. Whoop, pulled it down. He's saying what he's saying about the NFL, and, you know, he doesn't want the lyrics and all this, and this song played. Boom! They take the song, they make it part of the commercial. And now at the Grammys, he didn't get 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 Grammys. And you see people like Lucian Grang high-fiving.
That was crazy.
And salute to Kendrick. For the first time in history, my city was mentioned on the stage.
He gave that. I couldn't believe it when he said Pacoima.
He gave Pacoima a shout out. You know, I've been knowing Kendrick now at least 18 years.
Really?
Right? Every time I think about K-Slay. You know, that's something I'll probably never get over because that's where we first put him on stage in New York and all that.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, man.
Who do you think in Drake's head, who's his biggest op? Is it Kendrick or is it Lucian Grange and UMG as a whole?
UMG as a whole.
Because that's his partner.
He thinks he can take down Kendrick. He thinks Kendrick only won because they gave him favoritism. And here's the thing, right? UMG won across the board. So if they take Kendrick and Drake and y'all releasing, y'all not clearing shit, y'all just putting it up. And they grabbing and they saying, okay, we're going to put both these songs in front of 1 million people, guaranteed. Boom, and they sit back. And Drake's crowd shares it, 800,000 times. Kendrick crowd shares it, 900,000 times. It goes back and forth, and you look up, and Drake's crowd is at 5 million, and Kendrick's crowd is at, 12 million. UMG as a company is going to say, grab that and push it. Right? We put y'all both in front of an equal million. Organically, he's outrunning you. So whatever it is that we know how to do that we do, we put that guaranteed million in front of you. We put you guys at the top of the playlist. Whoever was 1 or 2, it didn't matter. The one was going to make you listen to 2, or vice versa. People kept going back to Kendrick, right? And at the end of the day, I think this is a time where the sun didn't shine in the same dog's ass. And I believe that Drake has furthered Kendrick's success with this because every time he mentioned something, his album was slated to do 220, 230. 4 days into the first week sales, Drake announces the damn lawsuit. Pushes him to 319. Right? He's accusations at the NFL. Now they're promoting it. So I just think if Drake just lays back, it'll be all right. But he's Kendrick hasn't said a word. Hasn't said a word.
I mean, he did do an interview with Ebro and Nadeska that came out today. And
today, February.
For sure. I would say this is one of the most shockingly uninformative interviews I've seen in my life. It was so obvious that they were given a long list of things that they could not ask about. They could not ask about Drake by name. That's clear.
Or they didn't want to.
They couldn't ask. For sure, they wanted to.
Didn't care if he.
Nadeska, if you told me that she was experiencing a mild heart attack during this interview, I would believe you. She looks like she is about to go into convulsions while she's having this conversation with Kendrick. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone more starstruck in an interview. Now, granted, I haven't really paid attention to what she's got going on since Everyday Struggle, but and Kendrick almost starts volunteering information like when they ask him a relatively innocuous question and then he responds that his mission with dropping Not Like Us and whatnot was to really embrace the competitive spirit of hip-hop. So I believe his team told them that they weren't allowed to ask this and this, which it makes sense because it's an Apple Music interview. It's in front of a live audience. It's not necessarily the place where you would expect him to answer a bunch of in the weeds questions.
I just think they're doing the opposite of Drake. They're not paying him any attention.
Kendrick is
a lot more than Kendrick than what's going on.
Kendrick tries to characterize this moment in his career as if it's not entirely basically built upon him writing an extremely popular diss song about Drake. Because that in itself kind of undermines this moment. It makes it so that the moment is all about another artist. And granted, he put out a great album. Outside of that, didn't really allude to Drake all that much and everything. But I don't think Kendrick wants the best moment in his career to be based around a diss song, even though that is how things have really kind of panned out.
First of all, we have a lot of moments based around a knockout, a Hail Mary, a last-minute buzzer shot, right? So this song was all of that, and it was a body of work leading up to the one song. I believe if he'd have just dropped that song first, it wouldn't have gotten the push that it did when he dropped it. What was number 4, 5 or something like that? Remember, he had fed his core crowd. The first 2 songs I hated. It wasn't my type of Kendrick, right?
It was very believable that Drake was going to win this thing for the first 2 records,
You got to understand, with Kendrick, he has a very diverse crowd, so he's feeding his crowd. I don't believe his core crowd even really too much gave a shit about Not Like Us, but his overall body of work, that was us. That was where he come from.
Well, I think dropping the project allowed for it to appear as if this was about more than just the diss record. The project made it more like, but
even then,
he put out a bunch of music this year aside from just that one song.
But even then, because I was one of them, I believe the mention of the Super Bowl and the whole controversy helped it, because I'm like, he got to let something go by July, August. I don't believe he let that go till November. So for him to wait that long, did not put that song on that album to push it. Because it might not have went towards the first week sales, but it went towards the overall album sales.
The overall thing I got from the Grammys is Drake's refusal to play ball, him shunning the Grammys, no longer submitting his music, making it clear in various acceptance speeches that he doesn't really respect the Grammys. That really laid the ground for the current hate campaign that he's experiencing, because you can imagine that if he was on better terms with a lot of the big industry players, that maybe this whole thing wouldn't have ended up seeming so one-sided. There's a version of what the Grammys looked like in which they still f***ed with Drake enough that they made a bunch of accommodations that basically didn't make it so clear how much so many of these people didn't f*** with him. And I mean, that really is kind of the shocking thing about all this, is wow, he really managed to piss off a lot of people, and seeing all those mega celebrities in one room, and there wasn't one person who seemed like they really had Drake's back, or if that person exists, they weren't exactly making it obvious. I mean, that was really kind of shocking.
It was only really 4 factors to the Grammy this year. 4.
From my perspective, there was so little hip hop being displayed. It was all about the girly pop singers.
Listen.
And Doechii, I guess.
Kendrick.
No.
Factor 1. Dr. Dre and Lucian Grain's doing a high 5 after Kendrick wins the 5 Grammys. Factor 2. Factor 3, Ye and his perceived to be almost naked wife.
Well, you're listing off like the viral moments of the night.
And 4,
from a hip hop perspective.
And 4, the shout out from Kendrick to the city of Pacoima. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there it go. Those were the 4 moments of the Grammys.
So you're not concerned about the Doechii wave yet? Do you know who that is?
Of course, I talked to
She signed to TDE.
I talked to Top Dog weekly.
Okay.
Was on the phone with him today for about an hour.
She was in her knickers on stage.
But, Dolce has been
Dolce?
What's her name? Doechii.
Doechii.
Doechii
Not
has been
Dolce
on the
and Gabbana.
I think she was selling out like 2,000 seaters and shit already.
Yeah, no, she's like really popular, but it's kind of like it's controversial that she won Best Rap Album because of the fact that you see people talk about her on Twitter like she's the best thing ever. And then, you know, you see the sort of high-minded hip-hop crowd embracing her. I'm a fan. Like, I haven't actually sat down.
Who else started like that?
I haven't sat,
Kendrick.
for sure. I haven't sat down and actually listened to her albums, but I watched her Tiny Desk with my 4-year-old daughter, and my daughter was very excited about it.
Yeah, Kendrick. Oh, by the way, R&B's getting into music management.
Really?
You know, she's from Mississippi. She has a Mississippian. Her name is B for Better. She's fire.
Okay.
You heard? Look.
You know about B4 Better?
Yo.
I want to check out B4 Better.
Song. R&B is falling up on her management.
B4.
Mississippi Stand Up.
She needs to manage Remo.
And she's going to be attending the.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
She was on Famous Animals. Okay, I will check that out.
What's the point? Yeah. What's the point? You heard what's the point?
I have not, but I'll check that out too.
I would play it, but he might get a little irritated. It's black music.
No, I like black music and black muscles.
Yo, no, but
as we discussed.
No, this is a song.
Yeah.
Like this, listen, this is a song. And I know you've been doing your thing with X4 and 4 extras. I don't take nothing from them. Right? And let me clear something up.
Yep.
Because they like, Wack, you said X4 is washed up. I said, no, I didn't mean that like that. I meant that when that door opened and he was a buzz, maybe about a year or so ago, whatever, but he went to jail. I don't think it's, not saying his music changed. And, you know, I hope he gets back out to Adam. I don't know when you dropping that song.
Monday.
Adam got a song dropping Monday, a day after
the day after this drops. Check out X4's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe because he's dropping a banger with the 22-ser.
He went on there. Bro, can I let you hear this beat for better?
Okay.
I was one of those.
We're going to edit it out the podcast probably because we don't want to get claimed.
Okay.
Okay. So,
yo.
That was dope. Yo, she rapping about getting molested?
No, she's saying, what's the point? Because you say this, but we're all openly doing this.
But do you know who she's calling out? The first section sounds like she's calling somebody out for fucking her when she was underage.
No, but that's what she's saying. She's saying, what's the point when y'all say this, but if he got the bag, it's cool. What's the point? It's fake outrage.
Wow.
And she said, what's the point of joining the gang? You're going to be by yourself.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
And that's hers independent, but I don't think we got to edit out.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, she's cool. You should let them hear a little bit of that. But she's called B for Better, R&B from Mississippi. She's from Mississippi, the SIP stand up. You know, she got like music of substance.
No, that was dope.
It's crazy.
I got to check out more of her stuff.
I told you you was going to like
Let's get an interview going.
Definitely.
B4 Better.
B for Better, that's her name.
All right, I like it.
There we go.
Okay, so craziest thing that we've seen this week. Irv Gotti passes, and, you know, rest in peace to him. But the media cycle is almost immediately taken over by 50 Cent dissing him by smoking him and then saying like, nah, rest in peace to him, LOL.
Well, first.
Brutal.
Well, the first thing he put up.
He was already shitting on him before he died.
He said, oh, man, I thought I wanted him to see my my new series, my new show.
Right.
And I woke up the other morning and I felt Irv was going to leave us that day. So I put up a post and it was like, They're like, what are you saying? You're saying he's still fighting, but he's gone. I just had a feeling, but Irv is my guy. Shout out Gabby Peluso. They're very, very close. But I cannot talk down on what 50 Cent is doing.
Okay.
Right? That man got hit 9 times. 1 time to the face. And in his mind, it was some involvement in that by this individual. Right?
Seems like that's almost inarguable.
You know, so he's not going to see it. You know what I mean? Now, do I think if 50 would have passed, if Irv would have did the same thing, I don't think so. That's not Irv.
Yeah.
But that's 50. I mean, let's be real. Like, anytime something happens, I mean, while we speaking on it, he did that to Irv. Look what he did to the Meeches.
We should talk about that too. But I mean, okay. I guess like the astonishing thing is that when you look through 50's comments on that post, what up, Third?
Oh my God, man, how you doing, man?
Chillin' G. It's like there's very few people who seem really shocked by 50 taking this perspective, but you got to keep in mind this is pretty consistent with his character, because when Wendy Williams had footage coming out that made her look like she was damn near on her deathbed, 50 was dumping, you know, insults on her as well.
Bro,
if he has a problem with you, he's taking it to the grave. Now, I guess from my perspective, all right, if the person I hated the most in the world died, I think I still would probably keep it to myself. And I think that in itself would be kind of awkward, because I feel like I'm going to come on this podcast, and if I don't talk about it, or if I skip out on that segment where we're talking about this person dying, that's going to be enough for the people to be like, oh, look at how you shit on him. Well, I don't know.
I'm going through it now. This dude, Ronnie.
That was your up. And yeah, you were.
But he wasn't.
When you posted about his death, you were basically like, I told him not to be playing with me.
No, listen, this is the thing. It's a lady the other day sent me some recordings. Now, I didn't know the dude. He wasn't my op. I was like agreeing with him. I'm like, yo, he deserved to get a DNA test. I can't have this dude was there, before we even knew who she was. He called a murder, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Who did he kill?
Killed somebody behind Krishan.
Oh, what? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, right. So for me to, shit. Hey, that's what that is. So, but it's crazy. But
you just noticed you saw that thing.
Yeah, but they sent me.
I wasn't gonna say that.
They sent me this recording. So once I get the recording, bro, it's up. You know what I'm saying? The worms can eat your bitch ass up.
So he was going off on you, or
bro?
He had something planned for you.
Bro called me all kind of crazy ass names, and I'm like, God damn, what I do to him? I had no one. So the lady sent me the recording. So once I heard the recording, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know he felt like that about me. All I ever did was I agreed with him. Like, bro, you should give him a blood test, but they feel like, well, Wack, I'm not sympathetic about none of that. You talking crazy while we both alive and you beat me to the grave, I'm gonna have my day.
So do you think that it's reasonable to expect that he actually was the father of this kid? I'm not like really that deep in this lore.
Listen, I do know he was involved with her at the same time.
Okay, so he was clapping her cheeks.
Definitely.
Okay.
She never denied that. Actually, he put out some footage, and but at the end of the day, I know they was going to court on the 10th of this month.
Really?
And they had to go to court, and I know he was kind of begging her to drop that case, and I'm hearing that he was kind of saying, if you don't drop this case, I'm gonna have to expose the real on the murder.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he was posting a bunch of shit about threatening and exposure.
Yes, but this is what I heard. Well, check it out.
And I ain't said nothing, but he has his history.
Yeah, he's saying he never said nothing bad about you, which he hasn't. He's been advocating the same thing you have, and you dragged this man for nothing. Burning unnecessary bridges, dumbass. And I'm going to wring your fucking neck. You're going to get it together. What?
Oh, I gotta kiss his bitch ass. Like, fuck.
Karan, and when you look at it that way, you're 24, and this is where you need to grow up.
Bro, I don't need to kiss a rat ass, bro. That nigga a rat, bro.
Okay.
So listen.
How come they always call you a rat, but we never get the black and white?
Bro, they say all kind of shit. So at that point, it's like Lil Ronnie. I hope the maggots is weighing your ass out. I hope they chomping on you the same way we was just chomping on this blue-faced seafood. At that point, if that's the way you feel about me, cool. Didn't know it was, look, it was cool when he said it, but it ain't when I say it.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So when it comes to 50 and Irv, you know, Irv my guy. Do I want to hear it? No. But do I understand where 50's coming from? Absolutely. That's just what it is.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I get it because it's like, all right, there's a dude who died maybe a year ago, and this was something that only people in the BMX world would have known about, but we had a physical fight, and then he basically lied and ran to the internet after I whooped his ass, and he basically told the world that I pulled a knife on him, which was not true. And this obviously was upsetting to me, but it's like 15 years ago, longer. It's like 18 years ago. So it was kind of like, by the time he died, it was like, I didn't even have anybody to fucking laugh about it with. Now, we had some jokes in my group chat with some of the BMX homies. I felt like maybe some of them felt like it was a little inappropriate. They weren't really loving the fact that I thought it was hilarious. But, you know, that was me reveling in his death privately. Doing it on a public level feels a little different. But in this situation, I mean, I can completely understand. It's all about, like, how much you hate him, though, because it's like me and Uncle Bang have this beef now.
He's a rat.
If he dies, I'm not going to be jumping for joy. I can't celebrate that. It's not serious enough. But if you lied on me, and especially if anything physical took place, then, I mean, okay, now we're getting into the category where, yeah, we might have to have a ticker tape parade.
I tell people this all the time. The more I hear people say things about me that there's no facts and I know it's not true, it lets me know they don't got nothing on me. You know what I'm saying? When we say shit about people, Adam, we got it.
Right. I was having that conversation this weekend with your boys where it's like, if you really think about it, Wack is one of the most hated people in hip hop, obviously most loved as well. But I mean, what do they say about you? It's like this sort of like vague rat allegation. We saw you with your butt out, which is like, who cares? You just got out of the shower. It's like, I don't really take that as a serious accusation. It's like, you know, they are.
By the way, tune in to Plug Talk on OnlyFans. You can catch Adam with his butt out.
For sure. Literally women eating my ass on camera. Like my wife bouncing up and down on my and another girl worming her face down into my asshole. That's some good content right there, yeah.
Yo, hey man, listen, man. With success come enemies, and that's just what it is. Yeah. It's never gonna stop. You know what I mean? They'll miss me when I'm gone.
I guess the only thing that's surprising about this with 50 is that you don't know anybody who takes their beefs as serious and to the grave as consistently as 50. Like nobody else in his position beefs like him. Think about somebody like Jay-Z. Now 50 and Jay-Z are like damn near peers in the industry.
You won't know it.
Jay-Z, you're never going to hear him say nothing about nobody. He does everything in a slick, underhanded way. 50 uses his Instagram account like the way that, like, you know, teenagers do, talking shit about rappers they don't like. Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you why. If you notice, we watch Jay-Z go through a transformation. His appearance, how he carries himself, what he's rapping about, when he does rap, when he talk, what he's talking about. 50 Cent never surrendered his position and his stance as 50 Cent the rapper. He went into TV land, he went into the liquor land, and everywhere else he walks into in some jeans, some fly kicks, a fly shirt as 50 Cent. So whatever comes out of his mouth, they're not holding him to this other standard to ridicule him, right? To pass judgment. He's being 50 Cent. Jay-Z, when the last time you heard Jay-Z talk about, you know, the things he used to talk about? You're not going to hear it because that's the lane he took. 50 Cent, it's easy for him because he can wake up and be him.
Yeah. He
never tried to go through this transformation of becoming this, that, and other. So that's why he could do what he do, and people laugh, and it makes him bigger. That's just what it is.
No, yeah, you got to love it. I mean, that's one of the things about doing this sort of like image upgrade that a lot of people in the rap game do at a certain point in their life, where they start to dress kind of in a way that's not relatable or approachable to the streets. And that's good because like a lot of these people want to be accepted in the boardroom. They want to be taken serious by the businessmen. They start to see themselves as more on the level of the 50-year-old Jewish guys that they're negotiating with and doing business with. And they don't necessarily care about being on the same level as the guy standing on the corner. 50 continued to play the role of the dude who's going to be accepted by that. Because, you know, we love Jay-Z, but at the same time, it's clear as day that he exists in a different echelon than where most of us are at.
It's only probably one other guy, but he's just not as loud. But if you get him going and you piss him off and you sit down with him, he gonna be who he is, and that's Birdman.
Mm. But Birdman, when's the last time Birdman like notably dissed somebody? That's not really part of his bag of tricks, right?
Birdman, right? As legendary as he is, if you come at him the wrong way or say something that he feels is disrespectful, when he go to address you, he gonna address you as Birdman.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
But he's more like, you saw the Breakfast Club moment, he's more the type to want to pull up, remind you that he's a gangster, that he can intimidate you, that you should be scared of him. Whereas with 50 Cent, he doesn't really put anything about a threat or I'm going to get you or I'm going to do this to this person. It's just purely like, ha ha, motherfucker, I'm going to just laugh and clown on you.
Yeah, Birdman's thing is not to pull up and be a threat to you. It's to pull up and give you a reminder of what it could have been.
Mm.
The fact that he showed his face and with that around him is cool. He's guaranteeing your safety, but he's letting you know, stop playing.
Mm.
Like, you got to come here every day, right? They can be here and I can be at home.
Mm.
And that's all it really is, because he really don't ever do nothing to nobody to rub him the wrong way. He really mind his business and stay out the way.
Mm.
You know, but there's something going on over there too. It look like Birdman's trying to make a shift with artists over there that's incarcerated.
That Cash Money.
Yeah, that's signed to Mob Ties right now.
An artist who's signed, who? Honeycomb Brazy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so
Birdman's getting involved with him.
Yeah. He think he's gonna shift that to Cash Money.
He's got a few more years left to do,
no,
right?
No, like 7-8 months.
Oh, okay.
And I think, you know, I don't think Honeycomb's happy over there. He feel like they left him for dead. He feel like he's in there because of them. You know, I'm the artist. Y'all sent out security with me, and security is bogus. We get pulled over. I'm getting in trouble for what they have, and you supposed to be the label. So,
but why do we think that Mob Ties supplied the security?
He said that. I mean, he was out. I guess he was out on some type of marketing or promo run. Say they wasn't his guys. The label supplied them. You know, a lot of times that happens. We sit in the label, we'll say, okay, we got security there outside for you.
All right, here's the ultimate hypothetical. Let's say you could bleep this out, but let's say Big U kicked the bucket. What's your next Instagram post? Is it, I had love for you, I have good memories of the good times that we spent together, or is it, haha, bitch?
As you saw me go at Ronnie, because he disrespected me. And I feel like Big U done said and did some things I feel is disrespectful. But I wouldn't post anything. Out of respect of his wife and his children. I know these, and I know it kind of sounds a little hypocritical, but as men, we going through our thing, right? But if he was to pass away, I wouldn't post anything, not as a disregard, but I would feel like because of our state, me posting something that his children, his daughter, and his wife, I think they would take that as me kind of being sarcastic or so. So I wouldn't do anything to make them feel any kind of way. While he's here, he's dealing with that. And sometimes I'm a little hesitant because I can see his daughter's face and his children and his wife and his kid's face. And we've been through some things, but no, I wouldn't disrespect him.
Okay.
Not at all.
I respect that. And it's different too, because you guys had good times. You were close.
Yeah.
That's different than Irv and 50 Cent, where, as far as I know, they never broke bread in any way. It was like 50 came into the game with this thing being a huge part of his narrative and something traumatic. I mean, I never been shot 9 times. So I don't know what it's like to have somebody walking the earth knowing that that person basically, from his perspective, tried to get you killed and they failed, but they put you through, you know, immense physical pain and trauma. Your family obviously were extremely worried and stressed out by this situation taking place. It's like, I don't know if I could look at T-Rel. What's my biggest gripe with T-Rel? Like, oh, you said something about me on a podcast? Like, who the f cares?
You know what I'm saying? Would you clown T-Rel?
If he died, no. It's not that serious. I'm not, you know. It's like I would immediately, before I even thought about it, and I'm glad that I have influences in my life like my wife, because if I even thought about saying something after he was dead, oh my God, my girl would be on my ass so bad. She would be so disappointed in me that it wouldn't even be worth it. She would, because she just don't understand this culture, you know? And really, it's like, as soon as I even thought about it, I would think about his kids. And I'd be like, I don't want to put that shit out there into the world, you know? I feel like when you really do
have you met T-Rel's kids?
Yeah.
So
I feel like when you
you get what I'm saying?
When you do some really hateful shit, especially after a person's gone, like, I don't believe in karma. I don't believe that, you know, if you do something bad, that something bad's going to necessarily happen to you. Anyway. But it just would feel disgusting to put that out there. Why do you think T-Rel unblocked me today?
I don't know. Maybe he's showing that he's over it.
He had me blocked for over a year.
You've done some things. You had his brother on the diss track.
Yeah. I was dissing him on that podcast over the weekend too. I had a couple of bars for him. But I'm looking through my feed today, and I just see a post from him being suggested to me, and I was just so confused. I'm like, "What? This doesn't look right. I haven't seen this on my feed in a year." And you know, when somebody blocks you, well, there's a way to block somebody where it blocks every other account that they have. So my burner account that I sometimes use to lurk people, also T-Rel proof, was not able to see his account on there. So I legitimately haven't seen his Instagram account in over a year. And today I'm scrolling through the feed. I see it. I'm like, wow.
T-Rel's a funny dude.
Interesting.
I've been watching him. Like I would listen. He's gotten better.
Pardon?
Yeah, he's a funny dude. He's a funny dude. He's a talker. He's gotten better.
He talks. He says, "You know what I mean?" A lot. We still haven't heard his response. Allegedly, he's going to be going on stream tomorrow, so we're going to find out what he actually thought about me going on his bros podcast.
You think he's going to speak about that?
For sure. That's for sure. Like, everybody in that universe is making many hours worth of content about that, which it makes me kind of proud that, well, I guess we're talking about him right now, but on the podcast on Tuesday, we talked about it for, I think, 8 minutes. There was an 8-minute clip, and then that was it. So,
yeah, he's definitely going to have something to say. Shout out to Hitman Holler.
What's he up to?
He proposed to his fiance. I believe her name is Honey. I believe it's Honey. Right? Remember, Geechee Gotti kept attacking him.
Okay.
Because remember, she took a bullet. You know what I mean? He like, yo, she done did all this and you still ain't put a ring on her finger. So I seen Hitman, one of his functions, he proposed. Shout out to Hitman Holler. Seen him pick it out the rig, nice 3/4 carat in the middle. I think a 3 carat in the middle. He did it right. Hitman, good job. Shout out, man. Keep up great work. Shout out to the whole incredible family over there.
You are reminding me right now that I have a text message from Geechee Gotti that I didn't respond to, and I feel bad. So
shout out Geechee. Good
man.
Yeah, good dude.
It's weird. You know, Geechee has a completely different meaning in a lot of other cultures.
Yeah. In our culture, I mean,
when he chose that name, I don't think he was expecting that to become a thing.
Geechee Gotti.
Where the fuck is it now? This is gonna torture me if I don't remember to save this to respond to. Can
we address this too?
Let's
address this.
Okay, I can't find it. I'm gonna have to do some deep digging tonight.
Jim Jones was in town.
And really, a lot of people...
He goes to Compton.
A lot of people said that he wasn't a real blood, yourself included.
I've never said he wasn't a real blood.
Okay, but he pulled up to the section.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to understand.
Okay.
Jim Jones has never been told that he can't come to the West Coast.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what Cameron and what they saying about him, but rest in peace, Hot Dog. The West Side Paul Rules over there has always embraced Jimmy, right? So nobody's ever said Jimmy can't come to the West Coast.
Certified Gangsters 2004?
West Coast. That's, the homies did it. The homies over there made that happen. So, they're like, whack, whack. I said, bro, nobody ever said Jimmy can't come to the West Coast. You'd never hear me say Jimmy ain't from where he from.
I think him going there was really kind of a clapback to Cameron, calling him a fake blood, right?
Well, I don't know if Cameron was speaking from a stance or something he knows is going on in New York. But I do know out here, right, the homies that have always stood with him they continue to stand with him. Like, I've never put in a call, right, on Jim Jones because, he from where he from. And we've always all embraced him as a homie, right? So everybody, look, bro.
You embraced him as a homie until what point? When did you guys fall out?
No, it wasn't. What was crazy about it, Jimmy was doing quarantine music during the COVID.
Okay.
Where he had a system to where he could do a feature with you from another location.
Okay.
While live with you.
Oh.
And it would come out like you were in the studio. He just did a song for Coyote. Literally. And Clubhouse was rocking. And I did the interview with Ack and 6ix9ine.
Right.
So every time I'm on Clubhouse, they're like, 6ix9ine me to death with these questions. I'm like, bro, I don't know a lot of these answers. So I brought 6ix9ine to Clubhouse. So I get a bunch of New Yorkers come on there and they're attacking 6ix9ine. They're attacking him. But 6ix9ine, you could tell he's memorized every document associated to his case. And as they're attacking him, he's exposing individuals. So he puts up this clip of Jim Jones on a call with Mel Murder, which they played in the trial.
Yeah, that was out before 6ix9ine even told.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Right?
Right?
Yeah. He said, we're going to super violate him. He needs to be super violated.
Yeah, he was giving, he was conspiring and giving instructions. So I'm listening to it, right? And I'm like, they use this in the trial? He's like, yeah, they played it in trial, which means it had to be authenticated on what they were talking about.
Yeah.
They're going to use the people in that thing to do so, right? So I sent the clip to Jim on the text. Hey, bro, what's up with this? And from that point on, I never heard nothing from him.
But he started shit talking, or you started shit talking after that publicly?
No,
he never texted you back, but then you guys start going back and forth publicly, right?
I don't think Jim even ever responded to me. He may have.
Oh, okay.
That's not really his character with certain people. My shit talking was just my truth. I read some work, I hear something, and in Jimmy's case, it's never no work. But 6ix9ine told me, Wack, I was the number one. Jimmy was the number two behind me. If I didn't take the stand, Jimmy was going to take the stand. He's telling me this, and he put the clip up. And me understanding law, I understand conspiracy, right? A phone count, dry conspiracy. And I didn't understand why Jimmy had been cuffed when everybody else involved had been cuffed. So I sent it to him. And I guess, Jimmy's whole stance was...
So you were alluding to him being a snitch?
No, what's happening with this?
Right.
I really want to have a conversation.
You were asking him, basically.
No, as homies.
Right.
We talk about everything else. I'm going to be real. I remember it was me, Big Y, and another homie called out to New York. Everybody was free when this 6ix9ine shit was going on. And we like, yo, bro, what y'all doing with this little kid, with this rainbow shit, with the flag?
Right.
And Jimmy and them words, him and Mel Murder, words was, respectfully, it's a New York movement, let us do our thing. Because we wasn't supporting it. You can't find no video clippings of 6ix9ine with the homies like that. They was asking, he was over there with the Hoover cord. They was asking, but we wasn't fucking with it, right? So when it came back and bit him, right? I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, we told you so. But even after that, we did a few video shoots. He did some verses and stuff for me. So when I sent him the clip, he never responded. But I understand him. He's saying like, well, that's one of my ops or whatever. That's cool. I want to know the details of this right here because I know you was pulled in on it. And to this day, nobody ever got those answers. So he took it
because
the way
I've been
he took
listening
it.
to people try to put this snitch thing on Jim forever.
Oh, no, that's rat.
I mean,
No, some telling happened. I don't
but
give a
what,
fuck.
based on that phone call?
Listen, if they got me on a call, right? Let's say it's me and Third, right? And the board, they got Wack as the top, Third under me, right?
Okay.
So let's call this Mel Murder at the top, Jimmy's under him. And in this call, I'm selling Third, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, this. And Third says, nah, that's what you ain't gonna do. What you gonna do is let this individual do this, let that individual do that, do this to that. Y'all gonna move like this, that. He need to be violated. At that point, the feds are gonna say, oh shit, we got this dude telling the shot caller what to do.
But violated does not mean kill.
No, listen to me.
Even though it certainly could in certain situations.
Check this out. When it comes to the feds or even the state, they got what they call gang specialists. Because when we on the phone talking in code, right? Did you get the gloves? 10 sleeves gonna be in there.
That's different.
Violate. No, it don't. What the fuck? It was a sleeve, right? What's a sleeve?
I don't know, but I was just saying, super violate from a New Yorker standpoint. If I say you should violate his ass, that means it could mean kill him. It could also mean disrespect him.
Violate, super violate. Then you lead, then you go on to say, hidden security.
Jim said that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Hidden security. When you get to hitting the security, he won't have no security, then he wide open. Right? So when I'm listening to this shit, I understand he's a documented gang member. Right? So I'm like, yes, some conspiracy in here. So when I'm hearing them, you know, they battling 6ix9ine. He put it up on Kuda B. They like, yo, you told on Kuda B. He said Kuda B told on me. He put the paperwork up. It said right here, Kuda B, Contrail, whatever his name is, said Daniel Hernandez 6ix9ine paid him to go have shots fired at Chief Keef at the W Hotel in Times Square, right? So he putting shit up I didn't even know existed, right? So, you know, I don't know Kuda B. So I know Jimmy. So I sent the clip to Jimmy, and I guess he took it some kind of way. You know, the truth could never be considered disrespect.
But it's got to be a weird feeling to have somebody texting you, hitting you up, and the thing they're hitting you up for is like, hey, bro, I think you might be a snitch. Let's talk about it. I can understand how that's got to be a weird feeling to get hit up by
That ain't no weird feeling.
But if it's your friend, if it's somebody you got a real relationship with, you'd think that you would kind of owe them some explanation time.
Off Paul Rue, that flag, listen, it's do's and deaths to those before me, right? You must remain a stronger soldier for the ones that follow. The mission is to move forward. To get there means not to know how far to go. So I'm not filtering myself if something's in front of me, right, that's questioning who you are and what you stand for. Yeah, you a homie. I know you. We good, right? I ain't got no personal problems. But what I'm hearing, right, is questionable, right? And that flag that we fall under, right, says I got the right, to ask you this question.
That's part of being in the same gang as somebody. I never really thought about that.
Ain't nobody bigger than the program. Nobody's bigger than the program, right? So, you know, it's no different in okay, if somebody a chick that you guys have had a session with, and she'd have been, y'all done had 5 sessions, she been tested clean every time. And somebody sends your phone, hey, yo, check this out, she's hot.
She got AIDS.
She's hot. I guarantee you, even though you're cool with her, are you not gonna say anything? And she's talking about when we gonna do another session?
I guess I would have to bring it up.
Because
that would be very awkward.
Yeah, because now you know, because you told me that, like dude did, you know, they got shit where they can get fake shit.
Yeah.
Right? So you're just going to say, oh, I'm cool with it, I'm not going to say nothing? Nah, I mean, shit, it ain't no, you know, I just wanted an explanation on what this was because it wasn't sounding right. It still don't sound right. Him, me, them, whoever is on there like that, saying those type of things, and this was caught up in a federal indictment and used in a federal trial. And you ain't been cuffed or questioned. I believe you've been cuffed or questioned.
If 6ix9ine had actually like taken Jim Jones down as well, that would have been
but here goes the
pretty
thing.
historic.
And then 6ix9ine telling me, he like, Wack, Jim was the number 2. If I didn't take that stand, if I said, F you, I'm going to fight these 47 years you trying to give me, Jimmy was going to be called. So he's telling me these things. So he gave me the clip.
I just don't consider 6ix9ine the most reliable narrator when it comes to stuff like that.
Listen, 6ix9ine will tell you, I ratted. And guess what else he gonna know?
But he only admits to the shit that he has to admit to.
No,
and he twists and turns all these other lies about all this other stuff to basically change the way that people view the situation.
What do you mean? He told you what he did. He don't care.
I still don't think Shotty Sarah Molina. I still think he lied about that to create plausible reasons for him snitching.
I believe that happened. No. I believe that.
Hey,
he was probably, doing what he was doing.
Somebody put me on the phone with Shotty the other day. I should have asked him.
But nevertheless, he ain't gonna cop to that.
No, yeah, probably not.
But nevertheless, end of the day, if he's in the bubble of it, he's gonna know what's going on. He like, yo, bro, this is what it is. Like shit. I'm tripping on, I'm Lil 6ix9ine. But let's talk about these real gangsters, these real bloods who's supposed to be the real ones, right? Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
How did 6ix9ine become the kingpin looking at the majority time? What got him there? There's no wiretaps of him What got him there? Who you think told the police, he gave us money for this, he provided that, we got money to get the heroin to do this? Who gave him enough information?
So you're saying other people in the organization were snitching on him as well?
The other gang members.
Yeah.
Right? So
they were going to tell on him either way. So him telling, pretty understandable, but also pretty much
it's
negates
never understandable. It's just what it is. And I don't really blame him because it's on them not to have those kind of hymns around them when they're doing things that he shouldn't see or know. Just real shit. How a man talking about shit 5 years ago and you only been running 18 months?
Somebody told me that my story is going to be like 6ix9ine and the 9 Treys once, I don't know, something involving me in the Rolling 40s, that I'm going to get myself into a 6ix9ine style situation by hanging out with 4 Extras and whatnot. We are not committing any criminal acts, so it seems unlikely to me.
That's hate because...
That's hate.
Listen, Adam ain't going or dealing with the 40s because he got some type of unique love for the 40s. If 4 Extras ass would have been for motherfucking Grape Street, Adam ass would have been over there in Jordan Downs shooting the video, right? He got love for 4 Extras and X4. And they both so happen to be from 40s.
This is true, yeah.
That's it. It ain't no deeper than that.
People always want to say that I have some sort of neighborhood affiliation. I'm like, well, why do you see me podding with Wack? Why did I start a show with Wack then?
Well, you got to remember, Brick Baby, neighborhood.
Yeah.
Crip Mac, neighborhood. 4 Extras, neighborhood.
Must be a pretty recent development, though, because the entire prior generation of hosts had no neighborhood affiliation.
No, Compton, Hoover.
Yeah.
I just think that, the cards fall how they fall. That's it. So, end of the day, people going to make up their assumptions on what they want to say. They're sitting back trying to figure out something that we don't even try to figure out. We just do it.
It's also, though, like, neighborhood encompasses so many people versus, like, if I were to be hanging out with a bunch of dudes from Pacoima, well, this is a much smaller collection of people.
Well, no, it's not that. Now we talking Power Row.
Right.
See, 40s fall up under the neighborhood car. 5560 fall up under the neighborhood car. Pacoima fall up under the Power Row car, right? So if you you done looked out for Lil Jon. You didn't promoted his merch, right? You just had Baby Cuban Rob in third with you moving on the weekend, right? That's Fruittown, Bompton, that's Pacoima. But that's the Power Row card, right? So that's what we're going to fall up under, right? So at the end of the day, I don't think you're really paying attention where people from. You're paying attention to people that you feel like you could trust, that you've learned to grow with. That's what you're doing.
I fuck with rappers and podcasters, and then I like basically put the pieces of the puzzle together about what gang they're from. Obviously, this is like a second language to me. Whereas
you don't be giving a
people
fuck
from
about
LA, they know every fucking gang. They know what gangs get along with who, et cetera, et cetera. It's like for me, I'm usually learning about it as we go because it's not really like
Yeah, you
something
don't
that
know.
I don't know that much about it.
Yeah, you ain't looking at it like
Maybe 10
all right,
years from now, I might know more.
What Hooster cut out, that ain't how you looking at that. They want to say that because they want to paint No Jumper as this fucking gang hangout, when really, I'm going to be real, it's a hangout from people that's from gangs that could really like laugh and joke and be normal.
When I was with T-Fly yesterday, he told me that he witnessed one of the most important events in LA rap history. He witnessed the Crip Mac put on.
T-Fly's from 5'5", I believe. Yeah. Was he loaded?
You might have had a few drinks.
Yeah, T-Fly.
Nothing
that's
too
how
crazy.
He's a functioning alcoholic. Hey, listen, his music, all that, you get the best music out of T-Fly if he off that sauce.
Oh, yeah? His music is good. He's got an amazing voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of remind me of Jodeci a little bit.
Yeah, I never listened.
I don't know
all that
what they
much.
doing, but they used to be sauced up. But we got some hits out of them.
Yeah, you're thinking about getting into drinking late in the game?
No.
Only a few people noticed you pretending to drink at the Don Julio the other day.
What you mean? What you mean pretending to drink? What are you talking about?
You got to switch it up real quick.
You talk about my Canada Dry Don Julio?
Yeah. Okay, wait. We got to continue on with the 50 Cent analysis. And by the way, when I was a massive 50 Cent fan in 2002, or even earlier than that, is when I really got like consumed with the G-Unit revolution, much like the rest of America. Never did I expect that 20 years later I would be helming a very important hip hop podcast and still talking about 50 Cent as if he was still just as relevant as ever.
Well, he's crossed over.
Yeah.
He's in TV land. I see him all where he's posting his liquor. He's doing his thing. I even know this game. Look, that 50 Cent Meech shit he did.
Yeah.
Game even had to respond to that shit.
Yeah.
Laugh, and he like, yo, did he really tell this dude what next season? Ninja?
I mean, okay, so let's do a little bit of analysis about that. So basically, wait, I don't know if we have the link to the thing about, okay. So basically, Rick Ross and Big Meech do an Instagram video together because Big Meech is doing this big-ass concert, and I believe he was probably trying to create more interest in it. And so then 50 gets upset about that. Did 50 post anything, or did he just kind of unfollow Lil Meech?
Well, he posted a rat, said they call me Big Meech.
Yes, okay, right here. 50 Cent speaks on Big Meech. Yes, he posted a rat, and he wrote, the biggest mistake, it's probably right here, yeah. The biggest mistake he ever made was not sustaining his relationship with Tammy Cohen. Her tell-all documentary reveals the truth.
So now, everything you've been hearing, guys like Blue Da Vinci, guys like the Exposers, right? I got that paperwork in my phone. Now, she's the third-party cooperating. She's the one that Meech was using to line people up and cooperate with the feds.
Okay.
Right?
So this woman right here that Vlad interviewed 2 years ago,
that's Tanisha.
That ain't her. Oh, that's not Tammy. Okay, I was searching
Tammy's
Tammy.
fair
so
skin.
this is somebody else.
Yeah, there's a picture of her up. 50 Cent leaked a phone call.
Okay,
it's a phone call up.
Tammy.
50 and Tammy phone call.
Do we have a picture of her?
Yes, definitely the cover.
This is her. Okay, she's looking a little lumpy. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, no, I don't think that's her right there. I think her.
You sure this isn't her?
No, that's her, but to the left, that was probably.
Oh, that one? Okay.
Yeah, that's probably more like her right now. Yeah.
All right.
Let's do her some justice, even though she's a cooperant.
Okay. Tammy Collins. Whatever.
So, yeah, she's the third party cooperant.
Okay.
So, what 50's going to do is like how they did Surviving R. Kelly. He's going to sit her down. Now, I'm going to tell you what people are not thinking about. Yeah, we're going to hear the cuffy details. Shout out Cuffy, shout out to the Lou, bro, doing 27, right? But what's going to get scary is when she start to spill the beans on all the other stuff nobody knew, and you got a dude sitting in the feds, right, saying, what the fuck? That's how that happened? Because there's a lot of people that got this cooperant one or whatever the hell, right, they got in their paperwork, and they don't know who it is because they took a deal, right? So when she sits there and talks about all these other situations that none of us knew about, but that person that's in jail or man just got out from doing 10 or 15 knows that's them, that's when it's going to get spooky.
Okay.
Right then is when it's going to get spooky.
So wait, you tell me if this is accurate. 50 Cent created this extremely popular TV series about BMF. It did very, very well. And then he decided to put out a documentary exposing Big Meech after multiple seasons of that show. And he did so just because Big Meech did this video with Rick Ross and got cool with Rick Ross. Fact. So this is a new decision, is that he's going to put out
brand new.
Wow.
See, this is how this works, right?
Yeah.
You hear us talk about it all the time, the exposers. Our war chest. Shout out Beast. He oversees our war chest, right? Shout out to the Crash Out Squad. We have a lot of stuff on people, right? But we don't, if they ain't doing nothing to us, we not tripping.
Okay.
Right? So what 50 did, whether the world want to respect it or not, right? He cleaned BMF up, revamped it, breathed life into it, and exposed it on a platform that was a trillion times greater than what Big Meech did.
Right.
Right? Rick Ross did it when he did a song, right? They call me Big Meech. You know, kids, who is this dude? He fell in 05, right? So now 50's like, I built this thing for them, right? It's just like Universal. It's just like cuts like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was super rich. He said, I want to buy the network. They told him, nah, Bill, you can't do that. Yeah, why? Because I'm a black man, I got the money. 40 year ago rapes pop up. Puffy, same thing. So 50 understands when you building somebody, sometimes they get cocky. Sometimes they want to act like they bigger than the program. So he'll keep his weapons there just in case he has to fight back. So because he built it, he already milked it, prostituted, got his bag already, right? Now what he's about to do is discredit it and burn it down. So guess what? Meech, Little Meech, Big Meech, you can't go do nothing with it. Matter of fact, now ain't nobody fucking with you anyway.
But okay, in your opinion, is Big Meech linking with Rick Ross? Is this such an obviously disrespectful thing towards 50 that he should have known better? Because I guess like it had to have crossed his mind, but also it's like, let's be real, we all kind of do business and with people that other people don't with.
Check this out.
I don't know. Like I could think of a lot of like comparable situations in which like you wouldn't immediately want to cut me off just because I hung out with somebody that you beef with. Now, granted, you allow me that space because you know what I'm doing as a podcaster. I do a podcast with a redacted rapper from Northern California. You don't take it as a direct attack on you.
No. Do I think, listen, Big Meech wanted to get in the music business, was in it, but he never, got right. Do I think Big Meech, after doing 19 years in the feds, his name got bigger on a global level while he was incarcerated than it was when he was on the streets, right? Do I think he was thinking about this is going to be that? No, I think Rick Ross wasn't a good friend because he knows 50 Cent's character and how he was going to take it. Now, this is where I hold Meech accountable. He watched his brother Southwest T take a picture with a youngster, with Supreme's son, right? Supreme, Irv, they all tied together, and what 50 think was the whole situation that moved on him.
Right.
And he told Southwest T, I'm not with you, you cut off, don't say nothing to me. So he saw what happened with his brother, right?
And that's the son
That's
of
the son
someone.
of it. But maybe Meech was thinking, from what Lil Meech said, now Lil Meech is a piece of shit.
Why you say that?
Right?
Why you say that?
Straight buster. And I'm going to tell you why 50 did him that way.
Okay.
Years ago, we all watched 50 have his little thing with his son, where every time we looked up, his son was around his ops.
Yeah.
50 kind of responded in a symbolic way in Power. He wrote a scene in where the guy that played his son, 50 Cent gunned him down for betraying him. Killed him, right? So when Lil Meech texts 50, man, what's going on, man? You know, I give you the shirt off my back. You know, we know each other in real life. And Rick Ross, he's a bitch. And my dad only did that because Rick Ross gave him some money to help him pay his bills and, to what float us to our next season. 50 looked at this like, you just like my little punk ass son. This your daddy, boy. You supposed to stand with him. If you cross your daddy, you'll really cross me. So guess what? F you too. And he responds, what next season? Ninja?
Okay, let me read this text right here. So this is Lil Meech.
That's it.
They just told, this is 250 Cent. They just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram and now you managing Skilla Baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first, when you didn't have a clue who he was. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty I'm human. I go through my own shit, but I never switched up on you. F Ross. But he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until the next season starts. This internet shit is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life. So there's a bunch of stuff that gets revealed in here. Number one, Big Meech is broke, which I didn't know that.
He just did 19 years.
Lil Meech is putting out information in text form to 50 Cent, someone who you really can't expect to keep that kind of shit to
50,
themselves.
This is why 50 is looking at Lil Meech like, you's a bitch ass little nigga.
Right.
Because you doing your dad like this.
But he's standing on business for his dad, acting like, trying to
You're not standing on business exposing his personal business. And then I want to know how it's going to go backstage at this concert when you back there playing like you your dad with a BMF chain and Rick Ross rolls through the backstage and the whole world watch you say, F Ross.
That's what I'm saying. He basically just poisoned the well so that it's impossible for them to really do this concert with Ross fully embracing it unless he just like tucks his tail and Lil Meech kind of like skedaddles out of there when Ross comes through.
Because knowing Ross going to be like, hey, man, that's your son. I ain't tripping nothing the little nigga talking about. You the one I've been talking about.
But for sure, Ross is not going to want to be in the same backstage as Lil Meech after
He's
this.
not going to trip. Ross not going to trip.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Big Duck. Pretty sure Big Duck will be with him. That's the homie from Fruittown, Lil John G homie.
Yeah.
My G homie. So that's one of his head of security.
Big Duck is making sure Ross is good. I feel like we're more worried about what might happen to Lil Meech in this environment.
No, but see, Ross is going to look at Lil Meech the way we all look at Lil Meech. The same kid that was at the airport that said, it ain't my gun, it's his gun. I go to private school. Do you know who my dad is?
But when he says F Ross, don't you feel like that's kind of intended to say 250 that the opinion of F Rick Ross is the opinion of our family?
No.
Like he kind of is speaking for his dad, don't you think?
No, he's not. Little Meech cannot speak for Big Meech. That little boy was a little bitty boy when his daddy went to jail. He ain't never experienced, seen nothing that they talked about. They had to tell him about it, and now he's playing the part. And what happens is you start to believe some shit that you really don't come from, right? I don't believe Ross is gonna hold that against Big Meech because he know when Big Meech left, he was a little nigga. He know that this ain't Big Meech feelings about it. Right? But it is going to make things a little uncomfortable. Me personally, if I was Big Meech, you know what I would do? Stay your little punk ass at home.
Yeah.
You sent that.
Yeah. That's probably the appropriate
And then
punishment.
I would let Ross know, hey, listen, homie.
I made him stay home.
Look, I'm making him stay home. I'm looking forward to seeing you tonight. It's all love.
And he had to go to bed with no supper.
Yeah, something like that, bro. Because Lil Meech ain't like that. We watched him. You remember at the airport?
I do remember.
Remember they found the guns? He told on everybody. I went to private school. You know what my daddy is? Fuck out of here.
Oh, what tangled webs we weave. Because, I mean, the fact that Lil Meech takes it as a given that there will be more money changing hands once the next season starts, and then 50 basically says, what next season? So there will be no further season, and I'm going to fuck up your relationship with Ross. I mean, shit.
Listen, diabolical. If 50 would have responded to dude, if he'd have said, call me, and said, hey, check this out. This where I'm at, bro. We can keep rocking. I was finna cancel this shit, but we don't need your dad anyway because you playing him. But you can't fuck with him. I'm going to book you a flight. If you land over here where I'm at, we're going to run around and do our shit the next couple weeks. It's all love. Other than that, you can stay over there with him and both y'all. I believe Lil Meech would have got on that plane.
This might be the thing that finally gets me to watch BMF.
It's a great series to watch. And if he would have got on that plane when he landed, nobody would have been there to pick him up. Oof. No Tony Yayo, no 50, no nobody.
So, okay, Rick Ross responded to all this. Let's watch the video of him speaking on it.
Nigga took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a hoe, nigga. Put your back against the wall and just slide down.
Hashtag hurt hoe. Okay, that was just that.
Now, one thing I got to say about Ross. The nigga beard be on point.
It's very thick and full. But once you really start learning about beard dye.
His beard be on point.
There's got to be some dye going on over there. Yeah?
This is what it is. I see these dudes dying and shit.
You don't bother to do that anymore?
Yeah.
You dye your beard occasionally?
Yeah, I use Just for Men dark brown. Black, I have you looking like Steve Harvey around the mouth. But R&B likes this gray shit. Okay. So I give her this 2 weeks out of the month. The other 2 weeks is my way.
Okay.
That's Supreme's son.
Who we interviewed. Shout out to Supreme's son. Let's listen to his reaction to 50 dissing Irv Gotti after his passing.
Some real shit. When has it ever became cool to talk about the dead or nigga that's in jail?
For the record, it's been cool for like 15 years.
But he's not from the streets.
The Chicago drill era made that shit cool. Let's be real.
That's what it is.
Or little kids. Like, what type of time niggas on? When has that ever was like a cool thing? Like, yeah, that nigga dead. Let me talk about him. Like, niggas not 17, 18, 19. Niggas is 40 and 50, bro. Why niggas talking about niggas that's in jail and niggas that's dead, niggas that's sick? Like, that's some... Nah, come on, man. Like, when are we gonna really draw the line? Like, is no line ever gonna be drawn? Like, niggas just do get away and do whatever they want to do, right? Because it's funny. Come on, bro. That's crazy, bro. So just know that we gonna have the same energy when niggas dying, when niggas is sick. Yeah, we gonna do all this. Yeah, I bet. This is what we gonna do. I bet. Say less.
I'm sure 50 is perfectly content to accept that he's gonna get made fun of by them when he dies. Yeah, what the f is he doing?
What you just said totally debunked everything you were saying.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it back.
If you know, if a nigga know, okay, well, I'm gonna get mine in.
Yeah.
Because everybody day is gonna come where you're gonna go before somebody who really doesn't care about you, right? Who really don't like you.
I mean, 50 was getting his revenge by laughing at Irv 20 years later because of something that happened a long ass time ago, and he's basically saying, okay, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do something that people are going to consider, inappropriate or offensive in exchange for the thing that he did, which is already what happened. It is kind of crazy though how that Chicago drill mentality managed to trickle down to like a Gucci Mane or a 50 Cent, because we hadn't really seen that in hip hop prior, right?
I mean, the streets, the term "fuck your dead homies," and whacking shit out on the walls. Right, that's been around. I never forget when we was young, it was this dude named David Nickerson. And he claimed First Street East Coast. But he used to claim my neighborhood prior to. So he killed himself, right? And I remember me and my team, Pooh Rodder, Lil J-Dog, Baby Bullet, Chico, went in the alley and we you know, you kind of create the stick man that's falling, right? So we
like Hangman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we created that, and you hit it with the rest in piss, David Nickerson, right? You know, we was young, but you know, when the hatred is there, that's what it is. Like, and not for nothing, he don't understand it, but who his father is and the reputation that his father has, right? People ain't hearing nothing he talking about because his pops got a serious rep. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of people like, youngster, come on, man. You know, Pops wasn't Jesse Jackson, my nigga.
I feel it. Hey, let me ask you this. How do you feel about the TDE sexual harassment lawsuit that came down last week?
I just got a text today.
Yeah, I heard you talking about this with academics. That
No.
You think that there's going to be
I got another text today.
An actual charge?
I got a text today from the attorney. Said he heard me talking about it, and he wanted to send me details and facts. I know the lady in question.
She had what role within TDE?
Nothing.
Okay.
But
she worked there, right?
No, she was just like a publicist type chick. You know, she presumed to be cool, right? But she's going at a couple of the top execs. But I just didn't understand it. There was a lot of holes in the story. It was like, you know, she said she got a hold of some alcohol. Did somebody offer that to you? Did you just go over there to the freelance trade and get it? Right? How old was you? Because this lady, I know she ain't that goddamn young. Right? She did some management or some representation, Rich the Kid, cats like that. She seemed to be pretty cool. I think personally somebody approached her and somebody's paying her to do this. But nevertheless, I believe TDE will prove their innocence. I don't think none of that happened. But let this be a wake-up sign, right? Because normal studio activity is, hey, homie, call some females up here.
Right.
Hey, y'all want some drink? Right? This is normal studio etiquette, right? So, and not to say this is what happened.
But then you're worth many millions of dollars.
But now,
you're under a different magnifying glass.
Now, they were aggressive. Damn, baby, you fine as hell. Come here. Right. And you grab her hand, right? And she's giggling and you talking and whatever. It's a whole lot of women hit the little back lounge real quick. You knew somebody for 8 minutes and get hit. Get some Scully up, right? That's normal studio shit. But now, when they walk out of there, right, and they get a little tight on some money, or somebody approached them, they take something as innocent and voluntarily as what they did and wanted to do, and they turn it into something else. The whole industry is being reshaped, and everybody got to change. Go to this, bring sand to the beach.
Right. No, that's why for somebody like me, making the decision to hire a woman is way different than hiring a dude. Because if you hire a woman, like generally speaking, you can kind of expect all the guys to get along to a certain degree. And very rarely does it seem like dudes want to get litigious with each other and sue each other for God knows what. But as soon as you insert, let's say a hypothetically attractive woman, you insert her into that dynamic, you have to now trust every single dude who works for you to not make a move on her, not say some creepy shit, and over and over and over. I mean, like think about Sharp working here. I mean,
Sharp.
That was at least part of what was the issue with Sharp leaving, is that Lena didn't with Sharp because Sharp was saying rude shit to the girls who worked for Plug Talk, so and Lena is a girl's girl. Lena immediately is like, well, basically, it's like she didn't say I don't with you, but she damn near might as well have said it from the way she was looking at Sharp, because Sharp was getting drunk as fucking here and saying weird shit to the girls.
So when they would come in, because I see them sometimes, every now and then I see them.
Yeah, and they mind their own business. No, they clearly don't want that kind of attention.
Yeah,
you know?
Hey, how you guys doing? And we out the way.
And luckily they're serious about their jobs and they're not, playing both sides of it, because you could easily have a girl who wants the sexual attention and wants to hook up with random dudes, and then once they leave, they're going to reframe it as I was sexually harassed, when really they were giddily eating that kind of attention.
When it comes down to the TDE thing, we have broke it down.
Who's the artist that's getting sued? Or not getting sued, but getting charged? You said a TDE artist is going to get charged.
No. The attorney heard me talking about it and said, let me send you all our paperwork. So he voluntarily sent it to me, right? But within reading it and going through it, right? She did the bullshit. What's nephew on trial right now? Rihanna's husband.
ASAP
right?
Rocky.
ASAP Rocky.
Right.
Deleted text messages and you just see like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you can tell when it was something prior to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but they don't know that, you know, you can go request these things, right? So I'm looking at it, I'm looking for what she's talking about, and I really don't see it. And TDE ain't finna just lay down and just give you no money so you could go away, especially when you come in with those type of allegations. They run a very, very tight ship over there, a very disciplined ship, a very close-knit ship. They ain't into the partying, they ain't into none of that stuff. So whoever's there at that present time is there for a reason. She might have been there doing some business going on, might have. She stands with a few artists that everybody know, but as far as when it comes to somebody forcing themselves on her and trying to get her drunk and things of this nature. You walk in the studio, it's a tray over here, bro. It got liquor, it got Red Bull, it got peanuts, it got cashews, it's on it. So if you want to go help yourself, help yourself. Nobody's standing there saying, how old are you?
But it only takes one employee who's hard up for pussy and don't know how to act to just say a bunch of weird shit to her. And now all of a sudden her lawsuit has legs.
Listen, you know what's crazy? And listen, men, we do shit. But women, y'all do shit too. And we sitting right here, right? And the female sitting over, we don't know. And every time we look at her talking, she's doing shit to get our attention, locking eyes or whatever. And it might go off. And I'm like, baby, what's your name? Because obviously you're trying to get my attention. And she tells you. And y'all exchange numbers. You comfort, damn, stand up. Let me see how you looking in that dress, right? She stands up, it's giggle, it's cool, right? Next thing you know, I was intimidated. 6 months from now she was intimidated. Well, did you ask her to stand up? Yeah. Well, why'd you do that? Well, while I was podding, she kept shooting me in the eye. She smiling at me. And when I walked up on her, asked her name, she presented to open up to me. I asked her to stand up. She didn't have to. She did. She spun around. I complimented her body. Oh, yeah, that, you know, she felt right.
That's why if you're a girl, if you're sexy and you're flirty, I do not want you working for me. You can go work for somebody else. Go work for the 100 show because I'm trying to like really avoid that kind of situation.
Everybody on the 100 show is taken, and this is why I flood y'all and I terrorize y'all with all my stories about R&B. That's it. Because whenever I'm out, that's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm thinking about. How you doing? How you doing? I just pumped the lady's gas up the street, right? Excuse me, sir. I will, no problem, won't. What's your name? You look familiar. I got in my car and I'm out. You asked me to pump your gas, cool. I would hope somebody would do that for a female in my family. All the rest we not doing. Because these days you cannot trust it. You can't trust it. You just can't.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that whatever these allegations against TDE, they will be cleared.
Okay. Do you think that having false allegations of a sexual nature leveled at TDE will at all make the higher-ups at TDE think twice about the fact that their former artist and current, partner, Kendrick Lamar, has had the best year of his career on the back of leveling false allegations at Drake?
What false allegations did Kendrick Lamar
calling him
level
a pedophile?
Where?
In the song.
Where?
He says, certified lover boy, which was a recent Drake album, certified pedophile.
Okay, do you know that it's a dude in Drake's camp that he moves with that had allegations and charges?
Okay.
Did you know that?
I mean, who gives
okay. Now, A minor is a musical line,
but
bro. Yet it's a bar. Hold on, bro. Drake did that. Fuck all that, bro. Let's keep it gangster. Drake sat there in Colorado. You want to pull it up? You pull every goddamn.
You are the only Kendrick Lamar listener on the face of the earth who doesn't think that song was specifically calling Drake a pedophile.
Listen, check this out. You pull everything else.
You want
me
to pull up the rest of the lyrics because the whole rest of the song is about that too.
Listen. Dude pulled a female up on stage.
Oh God, this story again.
No, it was real.
The fact that this is the best evidence that you have is proof that he is not a
So
pedophile.
you telling me he was right for what he did?
No, it was a small hiccup in a life.
Small hiccup?
In a
Won't you play it?
career in which he had
Man, we don't
infinite
give a fuck about
opportunities
none of that.
to get
Check
into
this out.
sexual delinquency.
Check this out.
And look what happened when Puff got called out. Hundreds of lawsuits.
We ain't
How
talking
many
about
lawsuits
Puff.
has Drake had leveled
We
at
ain't
him?
talking about Puff. Check this out. Okay. Which the things that Kendrick mentioned, you can visually go see.
You cannot see evidence of him being a pedophile. And if that existed, you would have to get it on the dark
check
web.
This out. If that would have been any of our people, we was in that crowd, we'd have maxed Drake ass out. The minute he said, how old are you? 17. And he goes, dang, why do you look this way? I mean, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. At that point, bro, you overstep your boundary. This was real.
Do you think that makes him a pedophile?
She was a minor.
Not in most states in America.
It's tendencies. It's legal up there. And fuck America, you can't play with me.
Let's just
Especially
ask,
when we
let's
talking
ask
TD.
ChatGPT.
Go
Is
ahead.
Drake a pedophile?
No, listen. We're not saying he was convicted of it.
Hey, I didn't even pop
and I
up.
don't think the pedophile line was really for him. It's somebody in this camp that was tried with something. But check this out. You do understand that federally, across our land, the age of consent is 18.
Where did Drake kiss a 17-year-old?
No, I don't even know if he kissed her. It's Colorado.
Do we know? She put out a whole statement.
I don't
about it.
believe he kissed her. I don't know who said
He
that.
did. He kissed her on stage, yeah.
No, we talking about what he said to her.
Oh.
So I don't know if he kissed her. I don't know about that.
Look at her statement on it regarding the video that's going
Okay,
around.
why don't you pull it up, bro?
I was 17
go find
back
the
then.
Clip. Go find the clip when he talking to her. Pull it up. I bet you won't.
Look at this.
No, you pull it
Drake's
up.
entourage picked me out from the crowd of people, not Drake himself.
That's cool. But when he asked that woman how old she was, he violated.
It was nothing then, and it's still nothing
We
now.
don't care what she talking
You
about.
are picking and choosing because you're going hard as
want the
on
video
him
up?
about this.
Why you want to put the video up? Now you got to put
We've
it up.
all seen the video so many goddamn
Okay,
times.
put it. No, we want to hear the things he
I've
said.
seen the video like
I
5
wanna
times,
hear-
and I have no interest in seeing the video.
So you don't think nothing he said it was a violation?
I think it was poorly performed. Yeah, it was a bad idea. He could have done a much better
then,
job.
so that means Kendrick ain't saying nothing wrong. Now let's move on. Where is the proof that Kendrick's best friend / manager had sex with his wife and that's his kid?
And
Where?
that's what I'm saying. Why didn't Ebro and Nadeska ask Kendrick about that?
No, what do you
That's
mean?
what we want to know.
Drake said that.
I know,
This
but that's
shit's untrue.
how are they going to interview him and not say,
No,
"Hey, do you
no,
think
no.
one of your kids belongs to Dave Free?"
Bro, nobody's entertaining the lie. Nobody's entertaining the lie, bro.
I bet that was on the list of things they
Nobody's
couldn't ask
entertaining
about.
the lie. But listen, do you think Drake's right for doing that?
Stop
Stop crying like a bitch. You shot one, bro shot one. Bro ain't said nothing. He took it to a chin. He ain't cried about nothing. He ain't said, oh, you guys are promoting slander. This caused the family a problem in my house. Bro ain't said nothing. He ain't cried about it. He responded. Don't swing on a man and not expect to get swung on back. That's a fact. Straight up.
You are extrapolating upon this topic a lot.
No, we ain't talking about no strap or nothing
It's
with you.
it's pretty
Got
much
me
a
fucked up.
1-to-1. It's a
Leave that
1-to-1.
shit with Lena.
TDE
Strapping
has
and
false
shit.
has presumably false
Ain't no
sexual
pres-
allegations put on them.
No, that's sexual allegations.
Much like their
What
most
sexual
famous
allegation?
artist of all time, the lawsuit that we just discussed.
What was done sexual? She never said sex was involved.
She didn't. She's saying she was sexually
penetrated-
harassed.
No, what does that mean? A whistle?
I know it probably doesn't mean sex.
What does that mean? Was there any contact? No. It's just a fact.
You don't think that this should be a moment of pause for TDE? Like, damn, maybe
Ain't
we
finna be no pause,
shouldn't
it ain't
have
finna be
amped
no-
up this
Listen,
false
man,
file
listen.
slander campaign
Listen, it ain't even
that
finna
we
be a
clearly
hesitation.
that they've been reveling in for so long. Maybe they shouldn't have got behind that.
Well, fuck it, let's tell the truth. Drake Dad, the one paid her to do it.
The girl that's going at TDE. That's what you think?
That's what's on the wire.
Ooh, now we're talking. You dirty dog, Dennis. Why would he do it? Why can't Drake do it? Now, could Drake have
Let me
instructed
guess
his dad
next.
to do it?
That
Maybe.
was Kendrick. Kendrick sent the little kids to follow him at the Grammys and say, "You not like us. You not like us."
Nah.
Kendrick did that too, right?
Kids would do that out of the
Bro,
goodness
listen,
of their
at the
heart.
end of the
yeah.
day, what I'm saying is, do I think Drake's a pedophile? No. But what I'm saying is the shit he did, right? could be spoke about. This shit he said about Kendrick, there's nothing to show us for him to be saying it.
That is a good point.
Kendrick ain't cried. You swung on Kendrick, he swung back, and he kept swinging, and he kept swinging, and he dropped your ass. That's it.
Kendrick also accused Drake of having another daughter.
Huh?
Of having another child, a secret child.
I mean, shit, we all possibly may got him out there.
You don't think it would have came out by now?
No, not necessarily.
I mean, it is true that
I'll tell you this.
most of the accusations in this battle were false. Also, Drake is black.
Huh?
I mean, Kendrick really tried to take his blackness away from him in this battle.
First of all, hold on. This is what he's saying. Yes, his father is from Tennessee. His father's a Negro. He's black.
Mm-hmm.
Drake did not embrace being black until he started embracing this hip-hop music, right? You got him with his Jewish shit on. He embraced his mother side of it. He did not embrace being black, being a nigga, being none of that. We embrace him. We embrace Eminem. He not black.
Aren't you just black?
No.
It doesn't matter if you embrace the culture of blackness.
Hey,
you just are black.
No.
And black people are allowed to do whatever the fuck they want to do with their lives.
What we're saying is, see, you're a white boy, so you don't understand the depth of what I'm talking about. You're a Wyoming from the goddamn Caucasus Mountain. You're a Canaanite.
I'm from New Hampshire.
No, can't call it what you want. That's what you are. So you don't understand when bro is saying, listen, you only want to be this when it's time for you to do this. When you had your motherfucking parties and birthday parties, you had your hat on and you was doing the Jewish thing, right? And that's cool.
He's both. You can be proud of being black and be proud of being a Jew.
He embraced that side of it. Now, if you ask me if Drake is black, I'm going to say, yeah, his father's a black man. He's black, right? Right? So, I guess he's biracial, but, from the laws I come up under, if you got a drop of that Negroid in you, that's just what you are, right? But nothing Kendrick said was false because he's simply saying, day one, I come up under this umbrella of being black. You slid into it when it was convenient for you to do so.
For the record, he is black and has been black since his birth.
Yeah, but he hasn't been practicing the ways, right?
You're talking about being black like it's fucking Santeria. You don't have to do anything. You could live your whole life as the most square individual on earth. You're still black.
That nigga didn't taste candy yams and greens until he went to goddamn New Orleans with Cash Money. And that's a fact.
How do we know?
Because I just said it.
Probably growing up as a mixed black and Jewish kid in Canada, probably he had a lot of issues with his identity.
Go watch him on his TV show and then look at him
That's acting. That was him playing a fictional character.
That's him.
No.
Yes.
He wasn't really in a wheelchair?
No, we know that.
That's the character he was playing.
But that's him.
No, that was him acting as Jimmy.
Do you think he's more blacker today than he was back then?
For sure. He's tons of black women since then. Probably picked up all kinds of game.
And I'm going to tell you this. While y'all out there trying to play with TDE, motherfuckers better really check themselves. Because if you don't know how the two-headed monster work, you about to find out. He keep pressing, playing with this UMG thing, right? Mark my words. By the summertime, you're going to start having allegations come out. You ain't going to tell me, nobody's not going to tell me that just like a lot of very big, wealthy rappers, you ain't put a chick on a plane, flew her in for the sole purpose to dick her down and send her on her way.
That's not what sex trafficking is.
That's what it is now.
Nobody has ever been charged with sex trafficking because they just flew a girl out.
You're a dummy. You better pull up the law.
They're going to put Chris Brown under the jail if that's what sex trafficking is.
Federal law 1910. That's what it is. If you fly a female out, if you sit a car and bring her to you for the sole purpose to have sex, it is sex trafficking.
What is
Black children,
sex
listen
trafficking?
to me when I'm telling you. This is how they booking you. He better chill out before they go find about 5 of these people and make accusations like they did Bill and they doing P. Diddy, right? And all the rest of them.
Sex trafficking, the action or practice of illegally transporting people from one country or area to another for the purpose of sexual exploitation.
There it goes.
Illegally. Very important word. And exploitation. Very important word.
Now, If you go in that court and she says, how did you meet him? On Instagram. Well, what did he do? Ask me for my phone number. Then what? Ask me if he can fly me out. Did he buy you a ticket? Yes, he did. What happened when you got there? We went to his room. Did you have sex in his room? Yes, we did. Lord forbid she mentioned liquor, pills, or alcohol. That's sex trafficking. That's how they booking our people.
No.
What you want to bet?
We could bet all day. Find me an example of somebody who's been charged with sex trafficking on the basis of that.
They just had 2 more added to Puffy.
Who?
He flew us out.
Yes, but then he allegedly drugged them and put them into weird sexual
listen,
exploited them.
Whether you use drugs or not, if you fly somebody out, or if you send a car to bring somebody to you for the sole purpose to have sex, they are classifying that as sex trafficking. And that's a fact.
It is baffling that you are still willfully misunderstanding the definition of sex trafficking after this long. Somebody please make me a YouTube video so that I can prove to this man that is not how this works.
You are misunderstanding how they're charging us today in federal court.
You find me someone who basically did like an Instagram hookup fly out who got charged with sex trafficking.
Bro,
I would love to see.
Bro,
in every single instance.
A lot of Puff's charges is that.
Yes, but they are also saying that he drugged them and he exploited them.
That's an addition to it.
Granted,
Drake, that's an addition to it.
I'm sure has flown out plenty of girls.
He better chill out,
and I'm sure he's had sex with those girls. But until one of them says that he exploited her, and until she's able to actually make a decent case, from my understanding,
all she has to say is he flew me out.
No,
with the purpose to have sex with me, and they're gonna book you.
Community note: that is not what sex trafficking is. Anyway, I know a bunch of girls who f Drake, and I haven't asked them about what they signed, but it seems to me that they signed some kind of NDA
that don't mean nothing when it comes to the feds.
Drake has presumably had sex with hundreds or maybe even thousands of women.
Cassie signed the NDA
in the last 15 years of his career, and none of them have ever accused him of any kind of sexual exploitation.
They went back 40 years on Bill. Sure. They going back 20 plus years on Puff.
Drake is possibly...
Drake ain't bigger than the program.
Drake has been accused of sex crimes in popular art in a way and to an extent that nobody else in the history of music has ever been accused of it, and we don't have one. We don't have one woman. The example that you gave, we just read a statement from her that basically says that Drake did nothing improper with her.
On Pa Rui was improper with her on that stage with that 17-year-old.
That's not what she says.
And if you standing with it,
that's not what she says.
I don't give a fuck. It's what we saw and heard.
You only care about grandstanding. You don't care about what the actual victim says.
What you heard, you with that? You with a 17-year-old and a grown-ass man saying how sexy what they do to him and all that?
I don't support smooching 17-year-olds,
Okay, then, so kill it with that. But I'm going to say it like this.
It was an honest mistake on his part.
Ain't no mistake. Here goes the difference. I bet you Kendrick ain't flew nobody out but his wife.
So what? He wins because he lives a boring sexual life? I mean, also, we've heard a million people say that Kendrick be freaking off on the side.
You meaning a respectful?
I've had people who are very well known in the music business tell me that Kendrick be getting his freak on. And the only reason I never say anything about it is because we need receipts.
I bet you
we need the black and white.
You just said it's thousands of women you know with Drake, right?
I didn't say I know. Okay. I would assume he's probably f***ed 1,000 girls in the last 15 years.
I bet you Kendrick ain't flew nobody out but his wife. You know what that is?
Boring.
You know what that is?
What?
A 5-time Grammy winner. That's what that is. And you know what that means? They not like us. Put some respect on TDE name.
We got to go outside. We need a fade.
That's
right
cool.
Now. Let's
all
go.
day long. Let's get it out your
Off
way.
the back. Let's go.
Let's get it out. We out.